Okay, so you'll collect your 20,
I will.
and
Guess what I'm gonna buy?
of course, you're going to buy more fighters.
2 fighters, correct. As it is,
See, I feel like like I get the rule that like aircraft and navy don't technically need supply, but I don't know. In some ways, I don't know how much I like that aircraft don't take up a supply to make attacks.
I would agree. I actually do
Cause
agree with that.
like,
I don't
cause
know
I,
why
cause
they're.
like, just kind of. So I mean, the strategy is still good. Like, I like, it's a strategy that we've developed playing this game for almost a year now, where you kind of just use the UN as sort of your air force, as the Allied
Right,
Air
but
Force.
I still paid back then to use that strategy. Like I paid that supply to do that
Right. No, but that's what I'm
when I
saying.
did
Like,
it.
but no, like, but that's what I'm trying to say though. At least with that, like, to make air attacks, you still had to pay. Whereas in this one, I mean, hell, with the 8 fighters that you have in Chonan right now, like, you could you could technically use those to very devastating effect and not have to spend the supply for them. But with how supply is set up now, I don't know how you would change that rule.
I'll be honest. I'm not a fan of the supply as it is now. I think it should be done by combat action, not every combat round.
Mm-hmm.
My reasoning for that is, it'd be a huge bummer to be fighting bravely in this huge fight where you have 4 supply, but if it's a huge battle, 4 supply itself may not even be enough. And then the battle just ends because, oh well, you don't have enough supply tokens. And
Right.
I'm pushing. I am not like saving all that much IPC because I have to at least buy supply with all my units.
Yeah. And yeah. No. I definitely see what you're saying. Yeah. It's
That is something I brought up as soon as that option was discussed.
yeah. And I mean, it was something that I don't mind, but I definitely see some of the flaws within it. Okay.
That
So
being said, all right, these two just spawned in last turn.
yes,
These fighters, so that will if that moves over there, that should be.
that you'll have 10 aircraft over here. Do you have any attacks?
Oh yeah, with 10 aircraft, you bet I do, buddy.
Of course. Of course.
It's gonna be worth it, so I'm going to do it.
Okay.
Uh, those 10 fighters, they are going to attack that supply column that I pointed out previous.
Okay. Okay, so hold on. Okay, one, two, three. Now hold on. Oh wait. Stop. Stop you. Okay, so you gotta go one, two, three, four, four. Oh wait, these two might not make it because fighters only have a range of 6. So if you went one, two, three, 4, 5, you can't land an Inchon yet.
And the ships can't move because it's non-combat for them. Um,
No, I mean you. I mean, wait, 4. Well, on the non-combat move, you can move the carrier up and grab these two. You can move the fleet up on the non-combat turn to land those fighters. So
I didn't know I could do that. Okay, in that
yeah,
case, that's what we're
that's
doing. 'Cause
that
I can move the
that
supply up anyway.
yeah, because that you can do that in Axis and Allies. Like on the you can only move the carrier to recover aircraft on the non-combat, but and it like same with this game too. Like in Axis and Allies, you can't move the carrier in combat first and then launch aircraft. You can't do that.
I see.
You can't add to the aircraft's range, if you will.
Okay, that'll be fine.
Okay, so we'll do that. Now I suppose the other question is, since this is an air attack, do I lose supply? Do I have to spend supply to fight you off?
Don't you? It's still ground units that are fighting.
That's true. I suppose I would. I suppose you're right. You'd almost have to. I mean, I have these two over here too, so I technically have 6 supply protecting this force. But yeah, it's kind of a
That's a
yeah,
great again, which is why I'm going back to. It's just easier if it's just one supply per combat action. And that
yeah.
way there's way more IPC freed up for actual unit purchases instead of supply. Because so, as I said, supply should be a fun addition. It should not be this extra chore in order to play the game.
Mm-hmm.
But let's do this.
Okay, so you're gonna be rolling 10 at.
Isn't it 3 or is it
No,
4?
you're gonna be rolling 10 at 5.
1, 2, 3, 4,
This should
5,
be all
6,
10.
7, 8, 9, 10.
Yeah.
Yep. But here's what I'm going to do, because this annoys me. So I don't know if you guys have noticed this. My rolls have been terrible. So this one, I'm rolling twice. This set, I'm only rolling once. Now, watch my D&D skills at work. If I just... This should all be nice and spread out now.
Okay, so
1, 2,
1,
3.
6, 6, 1, 8, 9, 2, 10.
3 hits.
4 hits. I count 4 because
I'm missing 1.
there's 1. So it's
These I hit
1.
on a 5.
Yeah, you hit on a 5. You got 1, 6, 6, 1, 8, 9, 2, 10, 1,
Oh, yep, I see
10.
it.
So yeah, you got
Okay,
4
I got the
hits.
fourth one. All right, 4 hits.
Oh, whoops. 2, 3, 4. Okay, now I got to come down here and figure out my defense. So let's see here. All right,
Now,
so I have 5. All right, so I have 8 infantry. That'll be 8 infantry at. That'll be 8 infantry at. Starting off with 8 infantry at 3. Woo.
Now I understand the IPC trade I'm doing here to the viewers, but it's for me, it's far more important to keep huge reinforcements like this away from Seoul than it is because I'm getting 2 aircraft every turn. I can afford some losses. This is what the NATO aircraft is for. I also forgot
Ah,
to add my bomber into this attack, which is what I should have done. Stupid.
for God's sakes. It is not rolling for me. All right, I trust you. Will you roll for me? My mouse is, for some reason, not
Okay.
letting them
Did
roll.
you already did you already do your
Yeah,
R thing?
yeah.
Okay.
I'm rolling
And
at.
1, 2, 3.
Yep, 3 hits so far. I don't know why it's not rolling for me. Okay, and then I have 2 mech at 4. So let me try again. All right, that's 2. Well, that was 1. It's 2.
Oh, weird.
Yeah, my mouse is kind of being screwy. Misses.
Okay.
Okay, so you got me for 4, which is going to be. I got to get a new mouse. This mouse kind of sucks. So that was
I am going
4.
to
And then
continue this
that
attack.
is. One
Oh,
second. And then you lost 3, 1. 2, 3. And then I'll just take the supply from the parallel. Okay.
why
And
can't I delete these?
I don't know. All right, so then you are going at 6. So you're going 7 at.
Right. So these ones once, these ones twice.
Okay.
1,
1,
2,
2, 2 hits.
2 hits.
What?
Okay, not as good.
1 second. Whoops. Trying to figure out what the heck is going on with my freaking mouse. Okay, so now I'll have 4 for 3.
Yep.
Oh, there. Hey, that kind of went.
That one
Okay.
rolled.
Yeah, a couple. I got him to roll a little bit, so let's.
Try to figure out why I can't delete these 3. That annoys me.
There we go. That kind of worked.
5,
All right,
6,
that's
7.
1
Okay.
hit. Ouch.
Cool.
And then what did I have for mech? I had 2 mech.
2.
Yes. Ah.
One hit.
1 hit. All right, so you got me for 2 and I got you for 2.
Yep, which means I'm down to 5.
1 second.
And I will still continue the attack because I want this column gone.
Okay, what? 1 second.
It'll all be clear on the American team, viewers. It'll all become clear.
So I'll so ah. Okay, so that's all that supply. Oh, well, wait a minute. What am I doing here? Well, shit, I should have done that on the after the first one. I am running away. Run away!
Okay, and so I
But
get to roll
so
again.
yeah, you get 5 more hits, I guess.
Yep, and 3 hits. I will take that. Thank you very much.
Oh, son of a bitch. Okay. 1, 2, 3.
Very much worth it. Okay, so 2 fighters will return to the carrier again as the aircraft head to that ocean zone. The
Well,
other one will return back to the factory.
if you want to say technically, the 2 aircraft that came from Kwangju could be 2 of the ones that are destroyed, so you don't have to move the fleet.
I do want to on the carrier this time.
All right, so you want the whole fleet going.
Yeah, that's why though, but because it's still closer than I'd like, so I want the fleet to have some escort as the we drop off 4 supply to the South Koreans,
Okay, 1 second.
which I do believe they've earned a core. I think they've earned a core group for their bravery in attacking Incheon.
Okay, and then these 3 fighters are going back to Cheonan.
A firm.
And then you're transporting these 4 supply to Incheon. And
Also a firm.
and then you're putting them under a core.
Yep, why not?
All right,
They deserve it.
so there's
First core.
all right, so ROK first core is being reconstituted in
They are.
Incheon.
They are participating in the liberation of Seoul. They deserve this honor.
Okay.
I do believe we said these are essentially battalion, weren't they? Battalion level is essentially what these.
Battalion regiment kind of depends. Most of the rondels are regiment size,
It's
except for
true.
a couple. There's a couple that aren't. Like for the Americans, like for their airborne pieces, the airborne pieces are broken down to the company level.
Yeah,
So
you're right.
so
Yeah,
you have
third
so
battalion, 176 Airborne Regiment.
yeah, so you'll have all the companies from the battalions of the 187th, and then, I mean, the Marine Corps is only down to the regiment, though. I mean, granted, I don't know how many, for Marines and stuff, but that's fine. Um, God,
And
I'm already starting to think I shouldn't have retreated. I should have just stuck that out and just let my forces die, but at least still try and take out a couple more planes.
you couldn't have known that you were going to take such a hard hit retreating though.
That's
There's no
true.
way you could have known that.
And again,
Um,
it's one of the few. I mean, God, thank God you didn't have any ground forces attacking me, or else, you know, that could have been something else.
bad.
Well, depending, but
Also
again,
fast turn.
again, you and I have had some conversations about the whole retreat aspect for this.
Yes.
Okay, so you're deploying your fighters at Gwangju.
Yep,
All right,
that's where that's going to go.
and then that's the UN. And
Let
now
me
we
guess
go
I get
over
20 IPC.
to the US. You get 50.
And I get 50 there. Um,
So this was 3 medium tanks, 4 artillery, 4 infantry, and a supply.
Can I afford that same set?
At 50, I think so. You should be able to.
I can't. I thought maybe I saved something over last time. Is how I got.
Hold on, let me see here. So let me just get out my calculator. So 50. So 3 tanks is 21. 4 artillery is 12. No, 4 artillery is 16. 4 infantry is 12. And then 1 supply is 1. You have enough to do the same purchase again.
I'm gonna sacrifice 1 infantry and do 3 more supply instead.
Okay, so that is going to be doing 3 more medium tanks. 4 artillery. Then you're going to do 3 infantry and make that a green for 3 supply. And 0 out. Okay, so do you have combat for the U.S.?
Oh, do I ever? Okay, so what we're gonna do, I'm gonna go back to the screen share thing really quick. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna take the forces. So Second Corps.
Okay, so they are okay. Second Corps.
The 3 infantry, 3 artillery.
Yes.
They're gonna board 3 transports. The other transport's gonna get 4 supply. Do I have 4 supply to give?
You do have 4 supply to give.
Okay, and so we will take that with the U.S. fleet, and we are going to land at the territory to the right of Incheon.
Okay, territory to the right. Oh, so Chuncheon.
Shanshan, there we go. Just such a silly name. I can't say that with a serious face. I don't know why.
Okay, so
Just
Second
ridiculous.
Corps. Oh, oh, frack. Okay. All right, so there's that.
And everything else
Oops,
will be
1 second.
non-combat, so okay, we're good there.
All right, so there's that supply to support your landings. Okay, well, I guess first is the 1 second. Let me just double check here. I can't remember if the offshore bombardments have a different I can't remember if offshore bombardments have different okay, so they're all right, so theirs is the same. All right, so you will roll a battleship for
Which is 4?
8.
8. Sorry,
Cause
D12s.
all
What's
right,
that?
that's my guy. All right, so that's that.
Each
Okay,
16-inch guns, baby.
and you didn't even have to spend a supply to take it.
I'm pretty sure that was the USS Wisconsin. Temper.
Ha.
Was that the Washington? That is Wisconsin.
No, yeah, it was the Wisconsin. You splintered my deck, you motherfucker.
Yeah, that's what you get for shooting short batteries out.
I actually today watched the Fat Electrician's little video of that. Well, it's him and the habitual line crosser. They do like a little sketch of it. You splintered my deck, you motherfuckers. Get ready for Toyotathon.
Did you?
Okay.
What was the destroyer that was next to him? Was USS Hound? No.
No, I can't remember what it was. And okay, so you have also effectively you've put my forces out of supply because they do not have a continuous
supply line.
But I have supply to feed my army. But
you do have quite a few.
But
yes.
eventually, if the news tightens too much and I lose out on all of my supply, this is for the viewers. If your forces ever become surrounded and there's no supply to feed those territories, so like in order to feed like these two, like to feed these two and Soul, I would have to spend 3 supply per turn to keep them going. But so once you run out of supply tokens, then the attack and defense value of your units begins to drop until they get to 1. And yeah, so I am in a pickle. A big, big pickle. But okay, so I fixed that. All right, I fixed the scoreboard. I fixed the production chart. Okay, so we are on to your next move.
All right, so that is going to be, I believe that. What is that?
So it'd be your non-combats now.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out why. Oh, right, because I'm in the screen share, not in the actual game. Good
Yeah.
Lord Almighty. 8th Army is going to go ahead and advance 1 more space to face off with the first KPA, not in combat, but just opposing sides.
Yes, it is still winter weather, so everyone can only move -1 of their movement, which is basically everyone can only move 1 except for
Yep.
supply trucks.
1 truck will actually go back to Busan so that it can roll with the next level wave of supplies.
You only
Reinforcements that land.
you only had 1 truck in Sangju. You have 2
Oh,
trucks
these
in
two.
you have 2 trucks in Busan right now with 3
Oh, I do.
supply.
Okay. How many supply do I have with the 8th Army then?
You have
right
3
now?
supply with 8th Army, and you have 3 supply in Busan, and a truck can carry 3 supply.
Go ahead and send 3 supply out with the 1 more truck.
Okay.
Just in case, because if there is a fight.
Oh, you had 4 you had 4 supply in Seoul, but that's okay.
The 2 fighters that were in Busan will also move up with the 8th Army's spares.
Okay. 2 fighters will go to
Because
8th
that was
Army.
friendly. Yeah, that was friendly territory.
I had never captured Sangju. Okay.
I believe.
So then all right, then
You know
it's
the U.S. bomber is going to also go to the 8th Army.
ooh, interesting.
That way they can launch deeper raids.
That's a good idea. That's fair.
Since it doesn't cost supply anyway.
Yeah.
Now that will
And
be massive.
then okay. Well, we got to land your forces. Do you want
Gimme.
Yes. Do you want a new corps in Busan?
No, they're just going to move right into 8th Army, or they're going to be shipped off to the new group that's landed north.
Okay, 1 second. I can't get them to fit. Well, I'll play with the map a little bit after the video to get them all to fit into Busan. I should just have like a tile that's not even like, oh, I'll do what I did in one of my last games. I'll grab a little I'll grab this I'll grab one of these Anzac task force things, and this is just gonna permanently be whoops. This will just permanently be the sole like debarkation area. Actually,
Oh, I like that.
I'll even title that
The
Seoul
Busan.
Debark. Oh, sorry. Busan Debarkation Zone. There we go. All right. So we now have the Busan Debarkation Zone here. Oh, I got to change the name of this task force thing too. Busan Debarkation Zone marker. So we now have a Busan debarkation. We have landed, the U.S. has landed the 7th Infantry Division along with the headquarters of the 3rd Infantry, while the rest of the 3rd Infantry will be, the rest of the 3rd Infantry is currently en route with more reinforcements. So that is nice. The 3rd Infantry is coming in. Rock of the Marne. If anyone knows their U.S. World War I history for the 3rd Infantry Division, helped save those Frenchies from losing their capital in 1918, or was it 17? No, 1918. 1918.
It was 1918. We only saw action in 1918 as
Yes.
U.S. Army.
Yes. So
Uh,
the Rock of
we
the
shall remain here. Yep.
yes, the Rock of the Marne is on its way to Korea. Actually, if I remember correctly. Oh no, no, my when I was at basic training, the regimental headquarters of my basic training unit was in Korea. They were the Rock of Chickamauga. They were the 19th Infantry Regiment. So we actually I think they're with the 24th Division. They're with the 24th Infantry. But yeah, the Rock of Chickamauga. I can't ever say that name. Took it to them Southerners. Huh. Actually, ironic. They first got their fame fighting Southerners, and then in this war they got their fame by fighting Northerners.
They change. It depends. It's just super rare because so for those who don't know their Civil War history, actual U.S. regiments were fairly uncommon.
Yes.
Because most were state volunteers.
Yep. Actual legitimate U.S. Army regiments were, I think, what was it? I think, what was it in the Civil War? I think it was like what 20. There was like
Tw-
there was more than 19, obviously.
But they were like the U.S. Army at the beginning of the Civil War was insane. It was very small, especially for the size of the country.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, so that's why in the Civil War you see a lot of state regiments. Like for us in Minnesota, we at first I believe had three. Initially had basically three regiments, and then by the end of the war, I think we had 9 to 12.
Something
Some
like
of those
that.
never really saw action.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, well, all right. I think is that past turn for you?
Yes, it is. I
All
look
right.
forward to the
So
next
we'll
turn.
go to the scoreboard. Communists are still winning 35 to 21. We are moving on to turn 6. We are out of the winter weather and moving into April and May 1951.
Oof.
Um well, hold on. I'm just reading this quick. Huh, interesting. Okay. Um So yeah, 35 to 21. The Allies are definitely starting to put the screws to the North Koreans, considering that they have actually encircled the North Korean military and have trapped them south of the parallel.
Does that
So,
means they can't produce as well, or does that mean they just don't?
from my, I guess I don't. Let me look at his rule book real quick. I don't think they're um, industrial complexes. Players cannot build new factories. Originals can produce 10, while occupied factories can produce 5. Supply tokens do not count towards this limit. If an enemy captures your original factory and later you recapture it, you can only build 5 per turn. It doesn't. Oh, wait, hold on. If any units are. In this, all right, hold on. It doesn't say in the industrial complex notes or in the supply line notes I
Um,
that I can't produce.
I think we need to get clarification on that then, because it doesn't make any sense that you're somehow losing supply from being surrounded, but you can produce fresh units.
I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to well, I suppose that wouldn't be good. But if you wanted to, if I wanted to, I'd have to spend one supply per unit that I'd be deploying. That
Actually, I wouldn't mind that. I'd be okay with that, actually. So you can't build supply, but you can spend a supply token to build a new unit.
Yeah. Which
I'm
honestly, I probably
okay
wouldn't
with
even.
that.
I don't even know if I'd actually do that. That just sounds like that sounds like too big of a risk.
Well, you only spend one supply per turn, regardless of how many units you have.
That's fair. That's true. That's true. Yeah. All right.
Don't forget though, your surrounding units are now also cut off. So the two you have outside of Seoul with no supply are also technically cut off.
Yeah. So I'll have to figure out what I'm going. Well, first I got to figure out what the heck I'm even gonna do at this point, because I'm I'm in a little bit of trouble here. So, but yeah. So that's gonna be it for turn 5, and we'll see you guys next time for turn 6. So until then, guys, as always, take care.